Today, a large number of Egypt's greatest historic discoveries don't lie far out in the deserts of Egypt. They lie in a rather surprising place, central Cairo. Tens of thousands of objects of rare beauty, mystery, and symbolic power have been gathered together in the Egyptian Museum of Cairo. Now, this extraordinary museum is preparing for an exciting new exhibition. The amazing hidden treasures of the Egyptian Museum will soon be revealed. Dr. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's most well-known archaeologist, is the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, and the man who is ultimately responsible for the museum.
Cairo Museum may be the best museum in the world because of the amazing artifacts that you can see and wonder when you come to this museum. The history of mummies and King Tut, all of that, it's something that you can never see in any museum in the world. And can you imagine that Cairo Museum contains 160,000 artifacts, but only half of it are on display.
If only half of the artifacts are being viewed, that means that up to 80,000 objects are hidden away beneath the cool marble floors of the institution.
I don't think that any museum in the world will really have a basement like this. A place full of thousands of objects that came from excavations all over Egypt. And when you come by here and you walk around the galleries, you can smell history.
It's an Egyptologist's dream. Opening a long-forgotten box brings back the excitement of its original discovery.
Let me show you one of these amazing artifacts. Look at this feet. It's a feet of a person that he lived since 3,000 years ago. And he lost his toe. What the Egyptians did, they replaced it. They made the first plastic surgery ever happened in history. They had this kind of things to tie every piece in it because they have holes here. And these holes would be tied. The analysis showed that this man lived for a few years walking with this. And he kept it with him because he would like to walk safely in the afterlife.
Elham Salah Eldin has been a museum curator for 15 years, and now she's busy helping and organising the new exhibition. The theme of the show is hidden treasures, and many of these treasures are recorded in the pages of the museum's lengthy record books. The books are so old that the pages are falling apart, but Elham is carefully searching through them for long-forgotten artefacts, hidden in the dark corridors of the basement. She can't display them all and must exclude at least some of the items. It's not hard to see that there is so much history in the museum that it will be extremely challenging to decide what to put on display and which stories to tell. Here she finds a 3,000-year-old ivory palette from a recent excavation that was used for mixing powders and beauty aids. There's also an ibex antelope, delicately made of flint, which dates back more than 5,500 years. Most pieces are simply fantastic additions to the show, but there are some particular pieces that denote a more special meaning. In 1999, Dr. Hawass was working at the Giza Plateau. There, he discovered the statue of an important priest called Kai. He's now come back to pick Kai up from the warehouse for the exhibition.
I remember when I found this statue, my eyes came to look at the eyes of this statue. It was the most beautiful moment in my life.
In a search for new and unseen pieces to exhibit, Dr. Hawass has ordered regional storage facilities all over Egypt to be opened. Now, priceless artifacts from all over the country are flooding into the Egyptian Museum to join the treasures there. From some of Egypt's greatest archaeological sites, Aswan, Luxor and the Nile Delta, come large numbers of ancient pictures, royal statues, stone inscriptions and carvings. None of these artifacts has ever been shown before, and there are several exciting moments as the researchers open the boxes and carefully unwrap them.
Oh, la 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 la.
For everyone involved, Hawass and Elham included, this is an unforgettable opportunity.
This exhibit will be incredible.
Most of the objects have been lying in storage for many years, sometimes decades, and they need careful conservation, cleaning and restoration. The statue of Kai is being wiped with a special liquid so that it can be cleaned without harming its delicate colours. In another room, a child mummy, which was found inside a tomb at the Bahariya oasis, is also being restored. The mummy had lain unseen for 2,000 years, so a museum conservator must now work carefully to prepare it for display. Decayed parts must be removed to keep the rest of the mummy protected. As preparations for the exhibition continue, National Geographic photographer Ken Garrett arrives. His job will be to photograph the artifacts, thereby documenting each one.
You have no idea what you're going to see when you come in here. Each day, more and more boxes come in, and we keep pulling back the cotton and rushing through this stuff. No, what's that, you know? And so it's like there's this constant train of pieces coming in.
Like this jewellery, the colours of which are still beautifully preserved.
3,500 years ago, and they're still in perfect condition.
Some of Tutankhamun's personal jewellery will also be included in the show, along with other objects found in the Boy King's tomb. Many of the Pharaoh Tutankhamun's royal treasures have already been shown, but one of them has been lying in a box unseen since it arrived here in 1923. It is nothing less than the king's own harness for his chariot, made of leather and gold. On the harness there are pictures showing scenes from the young king's life.
If you look here, you will find that the king, Tutankhamun, is on his chariot. It's wonderful. It is like a story. It is like a story of the life of the king, his life as a human being. So I think it is wonderful. I love it.
The new exhibition is almost ready, but one display case is still empty. 4,000 years after he was laid to rest beside the pyramids, it is time for Kai, Dr. Hawass's favourite piece, to reach his final destination. It's a special moment for Dr. Hawass, but like many archaeologists, his interest in the past is matched with an excitement for the future. He believes that there are many more artifacts still to be found in Egypt.
What is amazing, that all these artifacts in the museum and the basement are a tip of an iceberg.
Today, archaeologists around the world are continuing to devote their lives to finding artifacts from the past. Many amazing objects have already been discovered, but no one knows what other hidden treasures may still lie beneath the sands of Egypt.